So the job is now ahead of Great Britain. 37 matches Australia have gone undefeated in England from 1982. And the ball just climbs off the mound as Gary Schofield gets set for the kickoff. Our nerves going to play their part. Great Britain won the third test of 1988, 26-12 at the Sydney Football Stadium. That was their only success. Tonight, let's see how deep they can dig to bring out what would be the greatest upset in rugby league. Sirinen, he got the ball back on the inside from Belcher, and the defenders just swarmed in. Bella, he fumbles. Maybe there are plenty of nerves right at the start. Gregory, this crowd straight away gets behind the Englishman. Roy Powell just outside the 22. Great Britain might end up getting the start that they want. Dennis Betts, he was quiet when he played for Wigan against the Australians. They expect a lot more, the rugby league fans. Paul Dixon playing in the front row, right on the 22. Mr. Sablerol wants the tackles kept down. They get a penalty on the quarter. Chance at goal straight away for Great Britain. Ellery Hanley calls in Paul Eastwood. He plays for the whole club here in England. Coached, of course, by the man who was formerly with the Illawarra club back in Sydney. And Mr. Sablerol was just saying that he wants some of these tackles. You saw the swinging right arm of Martin Bella go over the top. He was quickly onto it. And Paul Eastwood will set this right on the 22 mark. You mentioned Brian Smith. He's due back home after Christmas to link up with St George. And the view that Eastwood has here at Wembley for the first chance at points in this opening test of the series, where he casually checks the studs of his boots. Around the corner. A huge roar to follow to maybe tell us the path of this kick. Off the uprights, bouncing up, unluckily for Great Britain, and it goes back into the arms of Bob Lidner. So a let off for the Kangaroos here. No score, Australia, Great Britain. Bella this time makes no mistake with the fumble. Malcolm really disappointed at 2 points that have gone begging. So one of the controversies was that Jonathan Davies, the great goal kicker, should have been in the squad. He wasn't. And all that pressure is on Eastwood. The Australians to take it out of the danger area here. Stewart. Had a long time, got the kick in well, but it will fall straight into the arms of Hampson. Brushes off Magua, but has a great deal of difficulty with Bobby Lidner. Now Great Britain again. Darryl Powell goes under a smothering tackle from Magua and Sirinen. Schofield into the action, the dummy to Betts, the dummy again to Harrison. Trying to break through and open a hole. Two of the little men, Stewart and also Kerrod Walters. Gregory, he's been to Wembley on 6 occasions. On each occasion as a winner. He knows every blade of grass. This kick will have to come back for another Great Britain penalty. Mr. Sablerol has found the Australians offside. Now this is the replay of the kick at goal. Off the uprights, a coat of paint in it, and 2 points didn't go to Great Britain. So Eastwood has time to ponder of what might have been with that kick. And the bench nervous because of that. It would have helped to settle the Englishman down. Now they come back again to mount some more pressure. And the bench again look on as the Englishmen try and set themselves. Gregory will play a lot bigger role, as Graham Lowe said, in this match than he did against Wigan. He wasn't fit for that game. He and Hanley and Schofield are a great three in any side. This man now, Gregory, looks for Hanley. Schofield's on his outside. Langer, he brushed him off, and not too many people do that to Alan Langer. All fired up. Jackson from dummy half tries to steal 5 metres. Gregory jumps in to take over. They work a blindside. Behind the defence, off Bella. Dixon couldn't handle it, and it will be played as a knock-on. But a lot of urgency in the Australians' play as Great Britain lift themselves. All the action has been in the Australian 22. They will have a chance here with possession. The crowd didn't like the feed. The Australians bring it away through Ricky Stewart. He will end up amongst the forward pack. That's where he finishes.
And all of Canberra, of course, will be very keenly watching Ricky Stewart and the other Canberra players as Australia have it just outside their quarter line. Roach, 30 metres out from Australia's line. Open side, Langer. Now here's Meninga. Meninga comes straight and hard, but equal to the task is Schofield, who went low, and Hanley comes flying in over the top.
Well, I think he's going to grab Hanley for the use of the knee here. It's gone against Ellery Hanley, and this is a very good call by Mr. Sablero.
Well, Hanley made no bones about it. He wanted to give Mal something to think about the first time he touched the ball. A bit of a smile on Hanley's face. But he was very keen to get in on the Australian captain. As Meninga finds touch just on Australia's side of halfway. Bobby Fulton, Keith Barnes, Johnny Lewis and Ben Elias. That's the Australian brains trust today. As Kerrod Walters will take the second kick. And Martin Bella just charges ahead, and a great run from Bella. He got the ball 5 metres his own side of halfway and finishes up almost 10 metres in Great Britain's territory. Roach now brings it ahead. He's only 40 metres away from Great Britain's line. Langer. They don't go to Lindner, they go to Stewart, and coming down the centre was Surin, but good defence from Great Britain. That was Harrison who went low, and his whole teammate was there to help as well. Jackson, Langer, Cartwright. Great Britain defence holding. Langer, he'll put the kick in. Now getting back is Eastwood. He's got Hampson in support. Lindner's up there, and so too is little Alan Langer, and they've combined to put him on the deck. 11 metres out. And the referee very quickly to come in to penalise the Australians for not allowing Eastwood to get up and play the ball. Well, he's keen to blow the whistle. There's Mr. Sablarol. That'll be a mouthful, won't it?
I'm just going to do the best to get close. I think Mr. Sablarol will.
So here's the replay again as Eastwood brought it back, but the referee pinged both Langer and Lindner for not allowing to get straight to his feet and play it. And you'll see Lindner, I suppose, did lay on top for quite considerable time. And let's go back to the sideline, Tony Durkin. That's I think the Great Britain really enjoying a lot of possession thanks to the penalties.
Well, the penalty's going to the Great Britain side by 3-1, but I think this referee so far looks like he has control of the game anyway. He's certainly not a showman. His decisions are nice and clear, and he looks all right so far.
And great defence from Great Britain. Eastwood, Powell and Hanley combining to show Belcher across the line, and the British crowd really loved that, and so would Mal really. That was great defence from Great Britain. Belcher looked as if he'd be taken quite comfortably 10 metres in from touch. He finished up almost on the dog track. Schofield. Powell. Back to Gibson. Gibson shows the dummy. And most of the Australians went to Schofield, and he's only 30 metres away. Gregory, he's got Betts with him. Betts goes through the hole. He got it back to Gregory, who can't handle it. And Australia come up with it, only 13 metres out from their own line. But that was enterprising play from Great Britain, firstly from Gibson and then from Betts and Gregory. And they found just a couple of holes in the Australian defence as Roach comes ahead and is tackled strongly just outside the quarter line. Walters decides to go on his own. Bella was with him. Still 0-0 here at Wembley Stadium. Almost 10 minutes gone in this first test match as Cartwright comes steaming down the centre. Last tackle against Australia. Belcher's there for the kick, so too is Stewart. And Stewart it is who'll kick straight down the centre of the field. Hampson, though, slips over on this very lush, greasy surface and has to retreat to only 10 metres out from his own line to bring it back. And Meninga's there to put him on the deck. Australia 0, Great Britain 0.
Great that another penalty against Australia. So they're not allowed to be getting to settle into any pattern whatsoever. And this is a dangerous time for them, Graham, isn't it? Great Britain are looking good.
They are, but the thing that's impressing me, Graham, is that they seem composed. They're not panicking. They're just playing a good, steady game. Like Dennis Bet just put the ball down with Andy Gregory there, but they are composed. They're not rattled by this big Australian side, and they're putting on a good performance.
Well, this has always been the question mark, Graham. The English side seem to go well for 20 or 30 minutes. They can't seem to sustain it, though.
Well, they're managing to stop the play all the time at the moment. I think that's the important thing. Even though they're doing it through penalties, they are stopping the play, and Australia can't get a flow on.
Here goes Betts. I said he was quiet when he played for Wigan. He is causing trouble. If that ball had got clear, Great Britain were away. Belcher would have been the last man with any chance. Bella now. But that drop ball by the Englishman gives Australia a good chance. They are very dangerous on counter-attack. Langer wrapped up by Betts. Belcher's jumped into the front line. He's trying to get the forward started. Roach. Roy Powell over the top. Penalty to Australia. They will finally welcome one. Powell is still on the deck. But Roach was interfered with as he was trying to get to his feet to play the ball. And Meninga will get a chance. So the pace just comes to a halt for a moment. Both packs get a chance to enjoy the break because it has been very hectic. Roach was trying to bust the Englishman on the fringe of the ruck. Jackson was around his ankles. He didn't want to let him escape with an early start. He said, come back here. Roach had no chance of playing the ball. He appealed to the referee for the penalty and he got it. A long delay as Meninga waits for some sand to come out. So the Englishmen normally have some ball boys here. And Meninga gets some sand courtesy of the Australian trainer. Brian Hollis. And this will be 33 metres out as Brian Hollis goes back to his seat. The crowd lets Meninga know what they feel about this penalty kick for the Australians. He's right in front. He takes a lot of dirt. It's coming round. No goal. Hampson to run it out. Kerrod Walters showed a lot of pace to get down there, but Hampson has produced a great run. He's got support on the inside. He didn't get it. He could have got it to Darryl Powell, who was unmarked. Now, Hanley. What a run from Hampson. Hanley smells they're a chance. They are believing that they're on a roll, the Englishmen. Australia have been turned around quickly. They've got to get settled in defence. Gregory wrapped up 40 metres out. Schofield looking for touch. The ball's rolling. Will it be there? What a great kick and what a passage of play for the Englishman. But Tony Durkin, there was some controversy about the touch judges after the kick.
Well, Graham, one of the touch judges indicated that that ball went dead. Now, Great Britain have moved that ball 95 metres downfield. The touch judge dead set indicated that the ball went dead, yet it's play on.
Well, it is, and the Englishmen have enjoyed it. They are now 5 metres out from the Australian line. This crowd of around 50,000 or over 50,000, we believe, really getting behind them. Lidner running strongly. Australians just haven't had a real good set of 6 tackles. Bella, much better running, and in only 2 tackles, the forwards get out of the 22. Sirinen, pass was behind him. Now it comes astray. Kerrod Walters, Belcher, who wants it? Belcher, he kept control of the ball. He didn't try anything silly. Roach, this is where the forwards are expected to take over, and they're doing it. Good play from Roach and Bella. Little Andy Gregory and Roach shaped up. That'll be a mismatch. Probably like the recent world heavyweight bout. Now Eastwood. Hampson tries to direct him where to go. Right into the arms of Alan Langer. Hampson, no success this time, and another penalty. This is all going well for the Englishman.
Penalty 5, 2, 3 of those got offside.
And the penalties are 5-2 against the Aussies. 3 of those for being inside the 5 metres. Schofield looking out for touch. He gets about 43 metres out from their own line. And he and Gregory, Hanley and Betts have been impressive. 2 balls on the field. Mr. Sablereau just waits to have the other one cleared. Harrison. He gets into the Australian side of the half. Schofield brilliantly picked that up below his knees. Now, another penalty. He says this is high again. The crowd calling for more than just a penalty. Alan Langer says, I understand what you're trying to tell me. Hanley has plenty to say. He gets told to keep quiet. But it's almost like this game hasn't started for Australia. And the crowd is setting up a chant here, especially of the Australian supporters. So this gives them a marvellous opportunity again.
So here come the Great Britain side back again. 15 minutes gone in the Test match. And it's still 0-0 here at Wembley. Both sides have had a shot at penalty goal as Great Britain take it to within 30 metres of Australia's line through Dixon. Harrison, haven't seen him bring the ball up till now, just outside the quarter line. Jackson links up with Gregory, runs across field, finds Powell. Powell back in amongst the forwards. He gets it away to Jackson. Jackson goes across field. He finds Dixon, but he can't get through Meninga.
There was definitely a couple of shepherds in the play. They were all missed by the referee.
That's the thing. The Australians have been used to referees who play the obstruction rule. Today they're playing under one who doesn't. Here it comes. Great Britain open side. Gregory throws the pass. It goes out to Hanley. Hanley with Stewart. Back it comes to Hanson. He knocked that on, but the referee says go on. It comes to Powell. Powell across field. That was a forward pass. Has it been away to Betts?
Oh, this is a joke. That passage of play was a joke on rugby league.
13 metres away from the British line, and Gregory has a shot at field goal, which misses. Out to the left of the uprights. It's still Great Britain 0, Australia 0. Well, there were 2 disgraceful bits of refereeing in the second passage. In the first bit, there were 2 shepherds. Now, really, very pensive.
Well, as far as that passage was played, as I said, and that kick just went wide, so maybe 3 points have escaped the Great Britain side so far, but the rule book was thrown out the window.
Well, both sides have to play to it, Graham, so maybe Australia learned something from that passage. 10 metres inside Australia's territory. Suranen comes away now to Cartwright. Cartwright breaks through the first line, almost up to the halfway. Great atmosphere here at Wembley. Australia 0, Great Britain 0. 18 minutes gone in the Test match. Meninga, he's trying to bring Eddinghausen in, he can't. That was great defence again from Gibson. He stuck to him like glue last week, and he's done a good job so far today as Lindner brings it back. Last tackle against Australia. Langer thought about the kick. Langer propped, but he couldn't get his kick away. No support. Hand over to Great Britain. Hanley goes on with it straight away. Crowd claiming he was offside. Hanley over the halfway. Hanley, what a great run before he's taken by Stewart and also Roach. Gregory, Schofield, Powell. Good defence again from Lindner and finishing him off Bella just inside Australia's half. Jackson. Schofield, here's Harrison again. That was great defence. Around the legs was Suranen. Midway half and quarter line, inside Australia's half. Schofield puts the little chip over the top, and Schofield wins the race. Schofield chips it ahead. He can't get his pass away. It was knocked down by Eddinghausen. All those Australians are offside, but the referee still says 6 to go. Hampson back to the quarter line. Gets under the swinging arm of Magore as he plays it off here. On the run around, he gets it back, the flying machine from Widnes. He's only 20 metres away. It's like a volcano in this stadium. The crowd is waiting to erupt as Gregory brings it ahead. He gets it out the back to Powell. Powell, he's got within 13 metres of the Australian line. Great Britain on top in the opening moments of this match. Almost 20 minutes gone. It's still 0-0. Gregory floats it out now to Powell. Powell's got Eastwood with him. He can't get his pass back on the inside. Great defence from Magore. Only a couple of metres out. Quickly it comes out to Gregory. Gregory slips over. The pass goes back a scrum, just 13 metres out, but listen to the crowd.
That was great rugby league, and thank God the referee finally saw a mistake that he had to act on. He should have acted on a lot of them. So Langer with the feed, and through all of that, great defence from Australia. That the fact that he really did handle the Australians. And Graham Lowe, you said at the start of the game, Andy Gregory is going into top gear.
Well, I think he's given Australia a lesson at the moment on what should be done. He's just dominating the match in every way.
Australia get a penalty, or do they not? Which way is he going? He said that there was a marker. Nothing right for the Australians. This is where Steve Roach has got to keep cool. He's got to keep cool.
Well, he's got to keep cool in more ways than one too, Graham, because obviously the referee can't understand English. So it's no use gibbering off to the referee, because he'll just listen to any sort of unusual voice tone and deem it to be some sort of...
I'd be surprised if he hadn't heard some of the words that Steve Roach might be saying to him. Now, Dixon was the marker. Was he there or wasn't he? The French referee said he was, and Bobby Lindner is going to pay for it.
I would have thought in Australia, Lindner would have got away with it. Would have been a penalty to Australia.
With Graham Lowe, it's also Handley who is starting to really get deep, and he's starting to cause plenty of trouble on the fringe.
He certainly is. He's an explosive player, and he's showing all those aspects of his game today. Both Betts, Handley and Andy Gregory are the ones that are dominating the game for Great Britain at the moment. But the thing that's impressing me is they're so composed about what they're doing. They're not really panicking anything. They're just putting the screws in.
All right, so it's strength and power from Great Britain so far. Can they maintain the effort they are putting in? Eastwood, he hit the uprights with the first one. That roar tells you there's not a problem with the second. And in the first test, it is Great Britain that strike the first blow. They lead by 2 points to 0 over Australia.
Uh-oh, there's a penalty. The linesmen are coming in. Apparently there's been fighting in the scrum. One of the forwards has sneaked an apple pie into the pack. The ref reprimanding him. Next time bring enough for everybody, he says.
Now the Englishmen, they've very rarely been down this end of the field. Betts, well, he is performing well today. Dummy from Jackson. Now Roy Powell. Great tackle, Sirinen. Great head-on tackle by the big second rower. Gregory looking to get it away from Belcher. He's got a little bit of territory to cover. It started to hop towards that sideline. This is the man that can cause them trouble from the back, but not any trouble here for Lee Jackson. Hancock's joined in. I think it's his first touch in this test match. A jinking run, something that we're used to seeing from him. Very strong winger. Bella. Roy Power was low. Over the top, Dixon, who's getting through a lot of work. Kerrod Walters looks for Langer. He in turn for his forwards. Cartwright, good ball for Sirinen. Eastwood was climbing all over him. They've got to get on Sirinen very quickly and wrap his arms up. Stewart feeds it for Meninga. Meninga had Lindner going inside. He thought he was going to stay on his right hand. Last tackle against the Australians. Stewart trying to split Eastwood and Hampson. Hampson traps it. That's play on. And McGaw, the rule, of course, the new international rule that players must stay 10 metres away. Bella, who was in a bit of trouble, jumps back into the line. Schofield. Dixon. Real test match on our hands here at Wembley Stadium. Schofield driving the ball low, trying to get some roll. Will it get the distance? It won't. It breaks back in field. Belcher, dummy to Hancock. Taken by nobody. Darryl Powell put him to ground. Now, Hancock. Hancock! He was determined to get through there. Jackson and Schofield just as determined to plug the hole. Stewart. McGaw running freely. Good low tackle from Carl Gibson. The crowd appreciating what is opening up into a great test. Roach. Roach has taken 40 metres out. And a penalty goes to the Australians. Roach lets him know what he thinks about it. Meninga quick to get into the situation. But here comes Australia's best chance with the ball.
So Meninga is going to kick for touch, and Australia will apply the pressure. 25 minutes gone in the Test match. And Great Britain are leading Australia by 2 points to 0. But this is Australia's best opportunity so far. They've never been this close with the football. Eddinghausen across field, taken by Betts and Hanley, but only 20 metres away from the Great Britain line. Open side Langer. He's got Bella with him, and down the centre comes Lindner. Lindner taken low by Harrison. Australia edging closer to the try line. Coming down the centre this time, Meninga, taken by Jackson. He keeps the movement going. Sirinen standing. And is only 5 metres away. Walters has gone without it, and Hanley comes up with it. And Walters toes it through and they play the ball, but it's not going to make any consequence at all. Australia all up inside the 5 anyway, says the referee, much as Hanley got it back. Penalties at the moment favouring Great Britain, 8-3.
That's horrendous, Dave, because the Australians aren't allowed to be playing any real football. They're just not allowed to get in. That bench tells the story of an Australian camp that is very, very frustrated.
But let's hope that frustration doesn't convert into something more than just football, because the Australians haven't been allowed to play any yet. But give Great Britain their due as well. They're going well. But we've seen Leeds and also Wigan go well for 20 and 25 minutes. Leeds for a bit longer. Back towards the halfway. Jackson, Gregory, that comes away to Harrison, taken by Lindner, back to Gregory. Gregory, he couldn't keep his balance, otherwise that could have been another dangerous situation for Australia. Back towards the halfway. Schofield, kicking for touch. This will find touch. End over end it rolls. 10 metres out from Australia's line. Crowd love that. Why wouldn't they? He's having a great game again, Scoey. And he's very keen to come back to Australia to play in the Winfield Cup as well. He'd love to go back with the Tigers. I think a few of the Tigers supporters would love him back there too.
Well, Alan Jones is listening to us back there in Sydney, so I'm sure he's had something to say.
He'd like that man doing the tackle back there as well, I'd reckon, Ellery Hanley. But they can't have everyone, as Cartwright brings it back towards the quarter line. What a great tour he's had so far. Stewart, Langer, Sirinen on his outside. Sirinen can't get it away to Eddinghausen. He brought Offia in off the wing, and here comes the touch judge in. Gregory and Sirinen coming together.
It'll be against Sirinen, who lashed out with a boot. The touch judge raced straight on.
Offia down hurt on the ground as well. He was the one that was dragged in to tackle Sirinen.
Let's hope Mr. Sablero really does just keep his cool here. Let's hope he just doesn't let this occasion get too much.
Tony Durkin, that would have happened almost in front of you.
Well, I think the incident was pretty clear. Certainly Sirinen did lash out. I don't know how serious it was, but the referee, Mr. Sablero, has grabbed Paul Sirinen by the jersey and reefed him about 5 feet. I can't believe it. Siro looked at him, and I think he was about to deck him, and he realised who it was. The referees over this part of the world don't mind laying a hand on a player.
And there it is again. You'll notice that Offia was going low. That's where he got injured. Now Sirinen and Gregory coming together.
Well, maybe this other angle might tell us some stories. Pitches tonight coming to you courtesy of the BBC. And there it was, definitely lashed out with his right foot.
Sirinen, of course, believing he was trying to get free to play the ball. And Paul Eastwood will be kicking after the incident, which penalised Paul Sirinen. Eastwood scored a mammoth amount of points for Hull last year. He scored 1 from 2 today. He scored 290 for Hull last year, which in the end was enough to get him on the tour of Papua New Guinea and New Zealand. He moves in. He strikes that reasonably sweetly, but the crowd again don't like it, and nor do the touch judges. And so it's still Great Britain 2, Australia 0. Australia bring it back to the quarter line for the restart. Ricky Stewart looked at the referee and thought, well, I might just ask him what I have to do just in case he'll let me tap it. Good thinking. Hampson brings the ball back. He's a great runner of the football and a great defender. Is that little man, Alan Langer. And this is going to be a penalty, I think might have been for headbutting, was it?
Well, certainly Hampson had a go at Langer in the tackle.
Tony Durkin, again, you had a good view of that.
Well, Hampson running the ball back, and you can see it here on the replay now. It's just come in with an elbow straight to Alan Langer's chin, and the second one.
I think there was certainly a duck of the head there too by Hampson, and then there was a strong shout from the touch judge. Australia, we're still looking for our first try of this first test in 1990. 10 minutes away from half-time. Sirinen attracts 4 defenders. That's his job, to bring them in, just like this man Roach. He brings in another 3. The Australians deep to the right now. Belcher will look to link into the back line. Langer, Stewart, inside from Meninga, right on the 22. Good defence from Hanley and Betts. Kerrod Walters throwing it out the back. Still alive for the Australians. 6 more tackles. Stewart dummying. An awful pass for Belcher, and Stewart's offside. But he's going to get away with the offside. He will just rule a knock on. So some poor passing in the end from the Australians, and it comes unstuck. Great Britain with the feed. They are frustrated, Graham. When they have a chance, the Australians, they are coughing the ball up.
I think they're not playing the basics properly, that's all, Graham. They're playing too much football behind the advantage line instead of trying to gain any momentum.
Well, the forwards were starting to get some sort of momentum for them on that set of 6. Now it's Great Britain. Jackson, a dummy half, calling for the referee to get the Australians off his teammate. And he gets it now that Sirinen was having a chat, having something to say. An awkward first half of football for the Kangaroos. The referee says, I can see it all, you just leave it to me. Well, he's seen plenty so far. The penalties have flowed like I don't know what. He just really has. 10-4 it is, the penalties, in favour of Great Britain. But they haven't been able to turn that penalty count into points on the scoreboard. That is their big problem. Gregory, Harrison and Roach, the 2 number 8s. Powell. Great Britain set themselves up right in midfield, either side here of the ruck, for a set piece of play. Jackson for Gregory, the dummy to Hanley. Betts is taken and wrapped up by Lindner and Bella. Gregory, Dixon on a blind side. The Australian defence has been terrific when you consider the penalty count. Some of the things that have been allowed to happen in this 22 as well by the referee. Hanley very, very wide. He's going backwards to try and get some more room. Now he heads up straight forward. The crowd love their captain. Schofield. Midfield bomb for Belcher. They were all onside. Belcher! Oh, what a great take. What a take from Belcher as the Englishman streamed through. That's how you handle pressure, Belcher says to his teammates. He's urging them to get behind him here. Marvellous piece of play. A fire was bearing down with about 4 others. Now Hancock. Hancock loses it. Martin Fire couldn't pick it up. And a chance goes begging, but Australia in real trouble there. Desperate stakes. A Fire thinks of what might have been if it hadn't bounced up for him. First knock on against Australia. Hancock tried to run over the top of Gibson. He lost it. But it went down for the scrum, and Australia have it through the feed. A win against the feed. Hancock wrapped up. Eastwood was very, very late on the scene. He should be penalised, and he is. We're still waiting for some long passages of rugby league. Penalties are everywhere. The Australians will breathe a little easier here with this one. Great Britain, though, 2-0.
So 5 minutes left in the first half, and still no tries. But this is a crucial period of the game. Australia and Great Britain, for that matter, would dearly love to put a 4-pointer on this side of the break. What a great confidence builder that would be, as Roach down the centre runs into Harrison, almost in centre field. Great Britain leading Australia by 2 points to 0. And Linda comes straight down the centre, another great run, he links up, and it's Kerrod Walters who gets the ball within 30 metres of the Great Britain line. Couldn't play it straight away. Quickly it comes to Langer. Now Stewart goes straight through. Stewart can't link up. Stewart held up on the quarter line, a couple of metres inside from touch. Hancock, Meninga across field, brushes through Harrison but is taken by Betts. Last tackle against Australia. Eddinghausen comes one side. Up comes the kick from Langer. It'll bring rain. Hampson's great in this area and he doesn't let the crowd down either. He is a great taker of the football, as is Belcher. Superb football, Hampson. Penalty to Australia against Hampson. Well, Paul Sirenen, perhaps a bit of deja vu. He was penalised earlier for something similar. And Tony Durkin, there's no doubt that this referee will have none of that.
No, that's right, David, and it's quite ironic, really. A French referee clamping down on lashing out in the play of the ball. I mean, they're absolutely famous for it over there, but it was absolutely a magnificent take by Hampson, and it's just a shame that the movement came unstuck from Great Britain's point of view because of that incident in the tackle.
Here it is again. Langer it is who puts it up high. Eddinghausen had come in off the wing to follow the kick up. Now, Hampson is brilliant in this area. John Money thinks this is his best area of his football game. And he didn't let his supporters down with that, did he? He and Belcher, within 5 minutes of each other, 2 superb takes. Steve Hampson running back towards the dead ball line. But an important kick. Ellery Hanley had spoken to the referee about the decision to penalise Hampson. Now Meninga, none from one so far. The Australian captain. They're using a different type of football today to the one they've been using also. Meninga's had difficulty kicking the other ones. Today, this is another type of football. They used to be using the mitre. Today, they're using the Puma football. 12 metres in from touch. 20 metres out. Meninga strikes it well. Hits the upright. Goes through. 2 points to Australia. Right on half-time. Australia draw level through Mal Meninga. Australia 2, Great Britain 2. That makes the green and gold army happy. Plenty of them here from numerous tours. I think almost 500 of them from Rugby League Week alone. And Schofield has to bring the ball back to the halfway for the restart. But that will really lift Australia's spirits with only a couple of minutes remaining in the first half. 2-2 the scoreline now here at Wembley. And Schofield it is who'll restart play. Beautifully taken by Belcher. Belcher has Sirenen coming down, straight down the centre of the field. And he's still going, the big man, Bobby Fulton. Almost smiling then. He knows it's almost half-time and that penalty will give his side a great lift. They've had to withstand a lot of pressure in the first half, Australia, but they've done it well. Stewart, Meninga, they're all hanging off him. Now he gets it away to Belcher. On it comes now to Magore, and Magore is taken and does magnificently to stay in the field of play. How he did it, I'll never know. Langer, quickly, it comes to Cartwright. That's a bad pass, and beautifully hands from Lindner, who got it away into Eddinghausen, who's taken by Offia and also Dixon. Almost on half-time. 10 metres inside Great Britain's territory. Cartwright can't get the pass away. Bella was there. Last tackle against Australia. Langer finds Stewart. Stewart puts the little kick in. Magore's coming through quickly to apply the pressure, and in the end, Hampson runs into his own teammate and across the touchline. Australia might get another chance to go right on the attack before half-time. They'll get the feed into the scrum. There'll be 60 seconds left in the first half. So Langer will get the feed, and Australia might be still able to convert this field position into 4 points before the break. Referee wants the scrum move. Great Britain a bit slow to get there. You can't blame them. In it goes. That scrum screwing around. And Gregory dives on it, and the referee says fair enough. Well, Eastwood bringing it back towards the quarter line. Australia penalised for being up inside the 5, and now Great Britain will kick for touch. Well, a stop-start affair in this first half. And Eastwood it is who'll kick for touch as Bobby Fulton is heading back towards those famous dressing rooms. He has to go right down the far end of the field. Eastwood finds touch. 10 metres Great Britain side of halfway. Almost half-time as Dixon brings it back towards the halfway line. 11 metres in from touch. Harrison taken by Bella and Walters. And there is the whistle for half-time as the Great Britain side run from the field. The Australians quite content to take their time. And Australia and Great Britain go in at the break 2-2 as Mal Reilly goes to the bench as well as Dr. Gibbs. We'll be back shortly. Australia to restart the second half. The crowd warming to what has really been an enthralling first half, but one which of course has been a little bit disjointed thanks to the referee's penalties. The Great Britain bench and Kevin Ward starting to take the gear off as there's the kick-off to restart this memorable game at Wembley, and it's Hampson who throws the long ball away. It comes to Betts. Betts 14 metres out from Great Britain's line. Tony Durkin has been, of course, to the dressing rooms. What's been said, Tony?
Well, David, Bobby Fulton is reasonably happy with the Australians' performance. He's wrapped their defence. He said, your defence has been marvellous under the conditions. Great Britain have had all the field position, of course, all those penalties, and he's wrapped in, as I said, in the fact that they've been able to keep Great Britain at bay. What he wants them to do, naturally, is to control the ball more. He's very worried about their control of the football. He wants them to move up quicker in defence and meet Great Britain at the advantage line, which, of course, is pretty obvious. Malcolm Reilly has said that Great Britain have done what they were supposed to do. He said they've shown that the Australians are human, they can be bustled and are not invincible. But he is unhappy, of course, that they haven't been able to convert that great field position into points. He wants them to make it tidy up around the ruck area, and obviously he thinks that Great Britain can win this Test match, and I believe that Great Britain are likely to make 2 changes about 15 minutes into this second half.
Belcher taken across field there in good Great Britain defence, just inside the Australian territory as Kerrod Walters brings it back. Betts and Jackson the defenders. Again, I think Walters thinking that perhaps that deserved a penalty. Beautiful ball from Roach to Sirenen, who couldn't quite get it away to McGaw, who was in support, and Meninga was even supporting McGaw. That could have been dangerous. Stewart running across field, brings it back on the inside to Hancock. Hancock running back this side of the field. He runs away from Hanley, and Hanley comes again and takes him 30 metres out from Great Britain's line. Great run from Hancock. Last tackle against Australia.
Yeah,
Stewart,
Kevin Ward warming up.
Meninga, and it comes to Lindner. Lindner in a beautiful big hole. Away it goes to Meninga. Meninga's pass has gone to ground, and Betts falls on it for Great Britain. Lindner and Meninga really did combine well then, and almost produced a try for Australia. Kevin Ward starting to do some stretching. There were numerous people, of course, who thought... Of course, some people would suggest which one was Kevin Ward. He's the one on the left who's bending over. He's just as mean as the one who's sitting there still too. The penalty goes to Great Britain. They'd found touch, but the referee had ruled that Australia were up inside the 5 anyway. So play will calm down for a second as Eastwood will kick for touch. And again, no football on the sideline. Schofield has to go looking for one. There he is. And here it is again. That was this brilliant combination between Meninga and Lindner, and then Meninga's pass back on the inside. He was trying to find Eddinghausen, and Betts couldn't quite handle it.
So Great Britain nearly back out to halfway. Hanley, he goes without the ball. Back for Dixon. Dixon's played very well in this pack. Hasn't let Reilly down. Harrison was allowed to stand uncomfortably for the Australian defence and back in for Jackson. Andy Gregory. He sighted a gap which Cartwright closed very quickly. Schofield. Gregory has got to be watched, as Graham Lowe said, all the time, as has Hanley. Hanley! Hanley into the 22! Oh, over the top! Oh, what play! What great skill from Hanley! Great Britain's got Australia on the rack. Eastwood head down, try! Great Britain have got over. The Australians are in trouble now. Great Britain has scored. What a piece of play from Ellery Hanley. These guys are online. Their fans have erupted. Wembley Stadium has witnessed a great piece of play. The Great Britain flags are flying high. Eastwooders have been having trouble. Malcolm really says to Kevin Ward, keep it going. We want you out there to keep this going. Really screaming instructions to him, trying to pump him up. Just look at the play. He beat the tackle of Sirinen, and the Just Genes replay showed that he only ended up one blade of grass short of a try. The Australians just didn't regroup. Eastwood ducked under Cartwright, and Hancock couldn't get to him. But this piece from Hanley, he had already left Sirinen sprawling. The cover got to him. Hancock got there. Hancock then tried to race out to the back of the line, and Eastwood ducked under. What a try after the break. The Kangaroos in trouble, and the crowd is setting up in song. The man that gets the try, he hit the uprights with one kick, just missed with another. Kevin Ward is sidelined, waiting to join in the action, and this incredible atmosphere that has been built up. It is hard to get above all the song. Eastwood just looking from into the sun. Around the corner, it's on its way, but wide again. They could have had about another 6 points from kicking. But the Englishmen creep away by 4 to lead 6-2. Australia have got to bounce back.
When you drop the bomb that's kicked up high, when you knock on in your own 25, when your opposite number scores a try, don't you wish you're at McDonald's?
Kevin Ward out there. Hampson running from the brilliant sunshine into the shade. Roy Powell, after working hard for his coach. Betts. November of 1978. Australia lost a test match. They haven't lost one on English soil since. But the crowd are right behind their charges. The Kangaroos will have to produce something special now. They've got plenty of players that can do it. They've battled with a referee that hasn't really allowed them to get into stride. Dennis Betts. Malcolm really would be ecstatic. Australia get a rare penalty for a 5 metres defence against Great Britain. Meninga kicks for touch, and Australia will look to hit back straight away. Walters. That penalty count has crept to 12-7 against Australia. Eddinghausen. No chances for him so far. Lindner running strongly. Greg Alexander anxiously looks on from the Australian camp. Now Meninga! Meninga, skipper to skipper. Hanley showed the way for Great Britain. Now Meninga does for the Kangaroos. 7 metres away. Finally gets to play it. They switch. Langer. Langer dummies. Langer steps. Roach. Roach says, I want to get the try. He's only a metre away. Kieran Walters looking for support. Stewart, they've got him stretched. Cartwright, great pass. Lindner, Eddinghausen, no, just fractionally short. Great comeback from Australia, but Eddinghausen only just missed out. He has a good look at the corner flag. It was a good chain movement. And Cartwright got a terrific ball out the back. Lindner very quickly for Eddinghausen. Look at the cover defence. Kevin Ward's just got out there, a front rower. He got across to support Gibson.
Here's Offia, and Offia's almost in the clear as it comes away. As Hanley had Offia there, the ball's been dropped. Play on, says the referee. Hanley taken just inside Australia's territory. Offia was taken in back play, and now Hanley's down hurt.
I really think Ellery Hanley hesitated too long. He had Gregory Schofield all unmarked, and he should have used them.
As Ward comes down the centre, it surely must have been a shepherd around the back of Jackson. Here it is again, Hanley, and he had plenty of support. I'm not sure whether Hanley knew whether it was play on or not. He really did stop, but look at this tackle from McGaw. He drove him into the ground. As Schofield gets within 30 metres of the Australian line, Hanley back on his feet. Hanley and Offia there together. Gregory looking for someone to take the ball up, and it's Dixon who slips over in tackle number 5, 30 metres away. Great Britain leading Australia 6-2. Schofield with a shot at field goal, which looks good off the boot, but I think it's just gone wide. Belcher waits, picks up the ball, comes out to Offia, and is taken 10 metres away as Betts finishes him off. Great atmosphere here now. Lindner, hasn't he played strongly? He gets away from Betts. Lindner, he's still going. Lindner, he's got support. Here comes Belcher. Belcher's got support in Eddinghausen. Belcher gets it to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen props. He looks for support. There's nobody there. And he's taken just 20 metres away.
They've got to go left.
Great defence from Great Britain. They were gone. Eddinghausen struggles. Well picked up by Langer. Stewart, the long pass, comes away now. Cartwright, he got that ball away well. Picked up beautifully by McGaw. On it goes to Meninga. Meninga on his own. Meninga will score! Oh, what a try! What a try from Mal Meninga! Oh! Everyone will be out of the lounge chair at home with that. Superb football, Australia. Great counter-attack. Firstly from Belcher and Eddinghausen. They got them to this side of the field. Captain did the rest. Great stuff. Here it is again. The Just Jeans replay. That was that beautifully picked up pass from McGaw, and he sent Mal Meninga away. Coming back on the inside was Hancock, but Meninga, they weren't going to stop the runaway train from there. And there he is scoring the try that levels the scores. And now he, of course, will get the opportunity. Here it is again. That was a beautiful bit of football from McGaw.
It was a great piece of passage from Bob Lindner that really set it up. What a performance from Lindner to open up this game for the Australians out wide. They always had the numbers. It was a case of just getting that they're quick enough for the skipper to lift this side. He has done a great job himself. He's now got 1 from 2. He's going to add to it, he hopes, right now.
What incredible combinations too down this right wing, and great work from Great Britain to get back to that cover.
I said it before, David, I thought they had a great opportunity. If Hanley had have unloaded to Schofield, it may have been a try down the other end.
So Meninga, not easy. Schofield was across there, but he was watching Hancock coming back on the inside. It's very, very hard to gauge the breeze because the flags really that fly here at Wembley fly outside the ground. Meninga moves in, strikes it. It's high in the air. It's reasonably straight, but no. And so the score here at Wembley is Australia 6, Great Britain 6. Crowd really enjoying this. And here it is again. That's that beautiful pass from McGaw. And Meninga, when he clapped on the speed, he left Dixon standing, and there was no chance of Schofield stopping him. Mal Meninga. What a great try, a great moment to score. He scored the first try of the tour. Now he scored the first try of the Test Series for Australia. Crowd loving it. Schofield. Now Sirenen, as we've become used to throughout the tour, just charges up to the quarter line. That'll give the Australians a great lift. As Bella comes ahead strongly, taken by Harrison. Back towards centre field. Walters. Roach. Again, content to ruck it up down the centre, which has been their want in every match from this end of the field. Stewart. Kicking. That looks a great kick off the boot. Going across field, Hampson. That's almost similar to the type of kicking game that got Canberra home into the grand final, only just not finding touch.
It's going to be important here too, Dave, to try and get the Australians home, because they did produce a great piece of rugby league, but they've had to. And Graham, Great Britain have lifted this game to the stage where rugby league test football is certainly alive and well at Wembley.
Oh, it's great. It's great to see. It's great. The international game needed this, but an occasion like this also brings out the best in players from both countries. You know, it's interesting to note in the first half, the key players for Australia couldn't all get involved in the game, and you've already seen now Australia's big guns are all firing.
Well, what are your instructions to this Great Britain side?
I'd just say be patient, keep trying to stop the game with kicking for the touchline as often as possible, and don't be too fancy.
Well, Kevin Ward won't get fancy. He only knows one way. But Gary Schofield and Gregory will be looking for field goals if they can get close enough. Harrison. That defence drove in very quickly from Bella and Sirenen. Schofield, dummy to Hanley. Betts, a constant worry. 1 and 2 passes out on that fringe of the ruck. Jackson. Jackson from the whole club. Brian Smith tells us that this man can really motor out of that position. Long pass to well, it was Eastwood out wide. Now Darryl Powell. He was inside, had to go back, and it's 6 more tackles. Schofield. The call might be to just head toward the posts. They might be setting up for a field goal. Andy Gregory. They stood back and looked at him. Betts. Here come the Englishman. Dennis Betts. He nearly got there too. That's twice the defence stood back. Gregory went behind everybody. Hampson showed a lot of courage to get that. They really wasted that opportunity. 1 more tackle. Hanley wants a field goal. No, he wants a bomb. Belcher, he did it once before. It's free at the try. I thought he was interfered with. They've got it. Look at the scenes here. Malcolm really says, I wish the hooter would go straight away. I wonder what he really is thinking, though. He's trying to be composed, but there's about 45,000 Englishmen who aren't. Again, Wembley comes to life for the red, white and blue. Did Gary Belcher get a fair shake at that kick? That was the question. Was he interfered with before it came down? I thought Hanley, on the Just Eats replay, was going to settle for 1. Belcher. I don't know that he had a clear shot at it. Martin a fire. They call him the greatest opportunist in the world of rugby league. A fire was the man at dummy half, so was he onside? He threw it back to Hanley. Well, it all happened at once. I don't know that I can be harsh on the referee on that occasion. The test match that got back to being square is up for grabs again, and the pendulum swings to Great Britain. They are saying, here we go. Are they on their way to the first test win at home in 12 years? 1 from 4 could have made a more concerned look of the Australians. This time he's right next to the posts. What an atmosphere here. The comfort zone for Great Britain is now a converted try. It's 12-6.
The Australians won't know what the times are either because there's no clocks.
Successful. The kick was successful, and the Englishman, Eastwood, gets away again.
As Great Britain bring it back just outside their own quarter line. The crowd really starting to sing. They really think that today is the day. 27th of October, 1990. Is it going to be the first time on British soil that the green and gold go down? Schofield feigned the kick, goes across field, and he's taken still 11 metres inside Great Britain's territory. Just over 20 minutes remaining in the test match. Great tackle, Kerrod Walters on Gregory. Last tackle against Great Britain. It's Eastwood who came in to send it downfield. Belcher's back there. So too is Eddinghausen. But they're the only two Australians there, and they're ringed by 6 Englishmen who are down there. Great Britain really applying the pressure today. A bad pass, but Belcher did well as he throws the dummy. Belcher almost through. Only just taken in desperate defence by Dixon. Kerrod Walters keeps it going the same way through Bella. Bella taken in good Great Britain defence. He lost the football. Play on, says the referee. Hancock it is with it. 18 metres out from Australia's line. Great Britain leading Australia by 12 points to 6. Langer. Sirenen, straight and hard goes Sirenen, but again, the defence is equal to the task. Harrison and Betts there. Ward was the third man in. Roach throws the pass away to McGaw. McGaw down the centre, gets it away to Roach. Roach up to the halfway. Great support play from Steve Roach. Great play from McGaw, who's down in the background, clutching his head. Last tackle against Australia. It comes to Stewart. Stewart, the little chip over the top. Back there is Schofield, who didn't handle it well, and he gave a terrible pass that was picked up brilliantly by Hansen, and he's barreled just outside his quarter line. Great Britain bring it back. Well, the first half might have been punctuated by a lot of penalties. Attendance today, a Great Britain record for a test match, 52,274, surpassing the 50,600, which saw the opening test match of the 1986 tour at Old Trafford, which will be the venue for the second test in a fortnight's time. Standing room only at Old Trafford, I think now. Penalty against Australia. Australia's next 2 matches against Warrington on Thursday night, the telecast in Australia. And then they play Castleford, and that will, of course, be on Monday week. As Great Britain bring it down towards the halfway line through Ward. Penalty against Australia, again inside the 5.
This will give them a chance at goal to really make it the upset.
Penalties favouring Great Britain, 15-7. And Eastwood it is who's going to kick. Now, is he going to kick for goal?
Well, they don't have anybody who can go long enough. That's a goal that in Test football you've got to be able to kick.
Well, that's unusual, Graham. Tony Durkin and I saw Hull play Warrington a few weeks ago. He banged one over from 45 metres out. Hanley must think that they can put some more pressure on. Just outside the quarter line. They bring it ahead through Dixon. Hanley must think that he's got a chance to add another try. Harrison taken by Bella, and also Walters, 20 metres out, almost in centre field. A crisscross, and Gregory again, only just taken in desperation. He slipped the pass to Hanley. Hanley across field, taken by Sirenen. Is the field goal on? It's 12-6 the score. Schofield, a shot at field goal. It's there! 7 points to margin. Great Britain are leading Australia, and the fans are starting to cheer. Great Britain 13, Australia 6. Gary Schofield, and here it is, they set for the field goal, and Schofield, as calm as you like under pressure, banged it between the posts for 1 point, but an important point. And this gives Great Britain that 7-point buffer. This will really test the character of this Australian side.
Interesting, Paul Sirenen, Roach and the Australians were all claiming that Sirenen got a hand to the field goal. Touched it in flight, shouldn't have been allowed. Great
Britain just outside their own quarter line. really buoyed by this second half performance as Ward comes ahead, taken in good defence by Lindner. Now will Bob Fulton persevere with the same 13 for the remainder of the match? When will he bring the likes of Glenn Lazarus on? Perhaps a match winner like Alexander. Glenn Lazarus could well come on at some stage in this last 20 minutes. No movement down there yet. And we're seeing Lazarus being brought out to start. He's stretching now as Meninga with power. Gets it away. Eddinghausen got it away to Belcher. Belcher's over the halfway and can't get the movement going. Now McGaw, straight down the centre comes McGaw. McGaw still going. Great run from Mark McGaw, and he's still going. McGaw will score. Mark McGaw scores.
That's one of the greatest solo tries you'll see.
You'll never see a better try than that. The two centres have scored Australia's try. That will bring a smile to every Australian's heart. Mark McGaw, he got that ball on the halfway, and as hard as they tried to stop him, he finished up with a lot of open territory in front of him to score what will go down as a great try at an incredibly crucial time of the match. Here it is again. There it is on the just. Here it is again. You'll see Hanson across and Gibson really got in each other's road in the end. And Mark McGaw allowed the space as Ward couldn't get there in time to prevent the try. Meninga, 1 from 3 so far. And the angle, as you can see, taking it 20 metres out from the line and 11 metres in from touch. Not an easy kick, but a crucial one. And it's as straight as a die. 2 points to Australia. 15 minutes left in the match, and there's 1 point in it. Great Britain 13, Australia 12. We said today it would be one of the great days in the history of this great game of rugby league. What a day it has turned out to be. There'll be no one switching off tonight.
Well, I can tell you there won't be 26 players who are going to switch off, although 5 did here. 5 defenders he got away from. Tremendous power he's got. Big, tall centre three-quarter. If he's ever going to score a try in a game of rugby league at such an important stage, never again like the one today here at Wembley. Now Lindner. He's run strongly right throughout the test. Bella. Can the Australians keep their game composed now? Cartwright. Cartwright hits it up. Lazarus and Hasler. Fresh men looking to get involved in the last 15 minutes. Roach. Tony, what are the changes?
Glenn Lazarus is coming on the field. I'm not quite sure who's coming on for. I think it's Martin Bella. And also Des Hasler is coming on for John Cartwright. Bob Lindner into the second row. Hasler to lock.
All right, Meninga. He came over powerfully on top of Hampson. A fire. Now, do we get a look at his pace? No, says Sirenen. Gregory. What an impact he's had. And Betts. And even Jackson. Great Britain getting there in support of each other. It has been tit for tat. Every time somebody scored a try, we've seen another very quickly. Schofield plays it back. Jackson for another little run from dummy half. It's on the last tackle. Gregory one side, Hanley the other. They stay with Gregory. Long pass for Gibson. He'll kick. Belcher will be there with plenty of time. The kick should have been deeper, but he chased it well, Gibson. Each team looking for an error inside their quarters now. Meninga taking over like a front rower. 1 point in this opening test of the 1990 series. Hope you're enjoying Channel 10's exclusive coverage back at home of what has been a great test match. Roach showed it inside for Magore. Right on halfway. Will it be the Australians who get to the line better than the Englishmen? Lindner busts them. Meninga, Eddinghausen on his way. And well, Eddinghausen. Schofield's there, he couldn't get it to Kerrod Walters. Terrific comeback from the Kangaroos. Belcher been handling a bomb well in the first half. Look at this one for the Englishman. Oh, well taken, Hansen. Back to the 22. That is brilliant on the run. That is brilliant. Back to the 22. Gregory restarts quickly. Handling. Well, Graham Lowe, is it going to be Handling and Gregory to take control in the last 10 or 12 minutes?
And I'm sure that they're going to, like Ellery's got one dream left, and that's to beat Australia in a series, and he's going to come up with the goods in these last 10 minutes. But I still think that Australia's got the power to finish.
Gregory showed it. For such a little man, he takes on the big forwards. He always seems to get his hands clear. Schofield, nobody home. Oh, great play. Here goes Darryl Powell. They've got a mile of support. Eastwood, what a try. Oh, unbelievable. That is magic. Let's let this crowd tell you the story. Just how many great tries are going to be scored in this memorable test at Wembley? Surely he can smile. He's unmoved. Oh, this has been brilliant. This has been brilliant. And maybe Wembley has been the place, after all, to bring out the best in this game. There is still plenty of time for this match to turn even once more. Eastwood, if ever he's going to kick one, this should be it. After scoring such a try, the heart must be pumping so much. And now, from way out on touch, over 52,000 at Wembley, all eyes on the kid, but he's not striking them well at all. The upset is online, and there is 8 minutes for Australia with a converted try to climb out, Dave.
As Eastwood comes back now, let's go to the sideline. Tony Durkin.
Carl Fairbank in jersey number 17 is coming on for the prop forward, Carl Harrison.
So one Carl on, one Carl off. That was that superb pass for Powell, who just did enough to drag Hancock in, and Eastwood scored his second try. Australia now need to score a converted try to win this test match. 20 metres out now. Great Britain down their end of the field. What a moment this will be for British Rugby League, but Australia still have 7 minutes in which to score a converted try, and can that man put a converted try on? Greg Alexander warming up on the sideline. Tony Durkin, any idea whether Greg's coming on?
No, he's. I think he's. Bob Fulton hasn't given any indication yet. I think he's just going to inject him in the last 5 minutes.
Schofield, the kick charge down by Hasler. Going back for it is Hansen. Hasler chasing through. Now can he trap him in the in-goal area? Great defence from Lindner. Hasler couldn't. Lindner did. Line drop out. Australia get the chance. 6 minutes to go in the test match. They will get possession inside Great Britain's territory. Alexander still doing the stretching exercises on the sideline. Martin Bella, head bowed in the background. He realises what's on. We believe Alexander will come on for little Alan Langer. He has, of course, that incredible ability to produce a try from nothing. Australia may need that quality in the remaining 5 minutes or so of the match. Eddinghausen straight down the centre. 27 metres away. 5.5 minutes left in the test match. Lazarus goes straight and hard for Australia. Great Britain leading by 17 points to 12. 5 minutes in it as Australia bring it down. Langer, Stewart, here's Meninga. Meninga gets it away to Belcher. Belcher on it comes to Magor, but Magor's bundled across the touchline. Australia running out of room. Running out of room down that right touchline. They really did need to do something there, Australia. Are they running out of time as Belcher gave the pass, but it was good defence again. Offia was there, and so too was Fairbank. Alexander coming to the sideline to replace Alan Langer. Gregory feeds the scrum. Hanley off the back of the scrum. Is chased, gets away from one, away from two. He gets away from Hasler again. What a great run and what a great game he's had. Great Britain 17, Australia 12. At Wembley Stadium. In 1963, Australia won. In 1973, Great Britain won. But never has there been a crowd of more than 50,000 here at Wembley to see a test match. And that crowd has really lifted Great Britain. And they're only 4 minutes away from beating Australia on British soil for the first time in 12 years. Eastwood comes down towards the halfway line. Eastwood's away from them. Eastwood comes at Belcher, and Belcher puts him on the ground. 38 metres away. Hanley, away it comes now. Here's back on the inside, Gregory Jackson. Hanley propping. Hanley on his own. He puts the kick in again. Coming through quickly is Gibson. Eddinghausen is there and has to kick it dead. But it's a penalty. A penalty against Australia for a late tackle. And I would think they'll have a shot at goal from here, if not just to soak up the time, but to try and make that margin 7 points and make the victory secure. Here it is again. Hanley, what a superb game he's had for a man who really is short of match fitness. The kick through, the referee ruling that he was pushed over after he put the kick through. Here's another look at it. Kerrod Walters is there. As Hanley comes back on the inside, Stewart's there, and the referee ruling that Stewart has tackled Hanley after he put the kick in. Eastwood's going to come across and have a shot at goal as Eddinghausen really had no option but to kick it dead. And maybe that little passage of play has killed Australia's chances of winning this test match, or has it? It will take some heroic performance for Australia to get out of trouble from here. Great Britain know that they can soak up just a minute or so of time, and that will be enough for Great Britain to take this test match. What a series we're going to have. This Great Britain side have produced the goods today. Paul Eastwood 1 from 5. Had he been just a fraction more successful, the game would have already been safe for England. 2 minutes remain in the test match. There's Eastwood, 21 metres out, 7 metres in from touch. Another chance at immortality, if he hasn't been there already with his 2 tries, both in the second half. Taking his time. Paul Eastwood, the chance to make the margin 7 points. He struck it beautifully. It's there! It's there! Great Britain are in front by 19 points to 12, and that surely is the test match. November 1978 at Bradford, Great Britain beat Australia. No one has beaten Australia on British soil since. Paul Eastwood has just kicked the penalty goal, which will ensure one of the most memorable victories in the history of this magnificent Ashes contest, which dates back to 1908. This is truly one of the great moments of rugby league, certainly for Great Britain. Australia have 2 more test matches at Old Trafford and Leeds in which to retain the Ashes, but today is Great Britain's day. Look at the crowd. They're loving this as Gregory goes down. The touch judge is in. Hanley accusing Sirinen of doing something. The referee calling Sirinen out. Listen to the crowd though. They haven't had this experience for 12 years. The pressure has been on. The penalty goes to Great Britain. This really has been something special. The Australians have tried valiantly, but this man, Andy Gregory, really has had a storming match and must be well in contention for our Just Jeans man of the match. The Australians, of course, as open side, Great Britain bring it across the halfway line through Dixon. They bypass Ward to go to Fairbank. And Fairbank just inside Australia's territory. Betts going straight down the centre. Betts still going. The crowd get to their feet again. Midway half and quarter line. Inside Australia's territory in the last 60 seconds of the match. Hanley, back it comes to Powell. Powell across field, a bad pass, and Gregory, would you believe, has made a mistake. Well, they've hardly made a mistake all afternoon, Gregory or Hanley. And Hanley, the Great Britain captain, as the crowd start to blow the whistle themselves, they believe the time is up. Stewart feeds the scrum. Out it comes, Alexander with it. Alexander floats it across to Magor, and Magor is tackled just 12 metres out. Shearer is on the field as the siren goes. It's all over. What a game of rugby league. And Great Britain have served it up to the Australians and really have thrown down the gauntlet as to who are the world champions. Listen to this crowd and these players. They said they couldn't do it. I tell you what, they've played the better football this afternoon and they've deserved it. Betts and Hanley, this crowd will enjoy this day. They'll enjoy this night. Everyone here today will remember this day. Many Australians remember when Robert scored the try back in 1950. Well, today, the Great Britain people will remember this team who are now saluting their fans, because wherever you've been in Great Britain for the last 4 weeks, the message is they can't beat Australia. Well, they have, and they've beaten them at Wembley. Jackson and Hanley, they can't believe it. There's 2 more tests to go, of course. Old Trafford in a fortnight, and then in 4 weeks we'll be live again from Ellen Road at Leeds. It really is. Oh, why not? You can enjoy that. Steve Hansen, he was there at the Sydney Football Stadium just 2 years ago when Great Britain beat Australia in the 3rd test. He's here again as Eastwood receives some congratulations. The Australians a bit disconsolate. Of course they're disconsolate, but it was a brave performance. Difficult in the first half under a heavy penalty count, which didn't help them at all. But there's still 2 more test matches to come out and retain that Ashes. There's plenty of time left for for Australia to come back again. Steve Roach, he'd be upset, but he knows after missing the second and third test 4 years ago through injury that there's plenty of opportunities to have another crack at them. The St Helens supporters here with the Union Jack. This crowd will stay for some time. Why not? Wembley Stadium has never seen scenes like this at a rugby league match. Great Britain, 19, 2 tries to Eastwood and 1 to Ophir. Eastwood 3 goals and Schofield that all-important field goal. For Australia, Meninga and Magor scored tries and Meninga 2 goals. The crowd, well, look at that. The scene that many thought they'd never see again. The Wigan supporters and the St Helens supporters together. Welcome to the Lions' Den. Well, it certainly proved to be the Lions' Den today, because the Lions can smile. The Australians will regroup. And there it is. Even the Australians, I know, in the crowd are cheering. And why wouldn't they? A brave performance. Great Britain 19, Australia 12.